believe and feel good when you say it. I don't know why, but this will turn out to my advantage. And I'm going to take this opportunity to now focus on what I want, because I know I don't want this. I don't want more of this. Believe and feel good. Let me think about what I really want. I don't know why, but it really allows you to clarify your thinking. In relationships, for example, this happens. You're in a relationship with somebody, and you're arguing, and you're fighting, and you're not feeling fulfilled, and you're irritated, and things just aren't going well, and your lover leaves you, and you are in desperate pain and so forth. Take that as the best opportunity in the world and say, look, this person left me, and say, okay, now I can clearly define, because now I was in a relationship and I wasn't getting my needs met. So rather than focus on what I wasn't getting from this relationship and how terrible it was and how terrible this person was, let me now clearly figure out, based on my experience with this person, what do I really want now? And now you can really clearly define what kind of person, what kind of personality you want. See, anytime you go through something negative, anytime you taste bitterness, you can define what you want. You go to a buffet and you start taking some food and go, ooh, I don't want that. That I don't like. No problem. When you are at a buffet and you taste different things, if you taste something you hate, it's good because now you know what you don't like, so now you can clearly define what you do want. Life is the same way. Every day life is going to give you experiences, and that you can determine your preference. Do I want this or do I not want this? Do I like this? Do I not like this? Does this make me feel good or does this make me feel bad? If it makes you feel bad, good. Now you've established that's what I don't want. And when you look at for a moment what you don't want, you can now clearly, more clearly, define and focus what you do want. This allows you to more clearly dial in the proper frequency and transmit it. That's what life is. Life is going to give us a series of things that we don't want that make us feel bad, in a series of events and circumstances that we do want. And it allows us to clarify what we want. And as time goes on, we are more focused on what we want and start transmitting what we want, and we continue to get more and more and more and more and more of what we want. And when something comes in our life, or we observe something that's maybe not even in our life, but in a friend's life, something that we can imagine we wouldn't want, something that doesn't give us a good feeling, it continues to help us clarify what we do want and allows us to focus. So when something bad happens in your life, you should pop the champagne. Because I can tell you this, when something bad happens, the bigger it is bad, the worse it appears. It allows you to really focus and transmit a beam with massive power and massive intensity of what you do want. That's what you take it as an advantage. You are then capable, and really only then capable, of really generating massive power with your vibration and massive intensity of what you want. You can really focus. It's like, I don't want this. I'm sick of this. I'm sick and tired. That's why there's a point where everything changes for somebody. And that's when they get sick and tired of getting sick and tired. That's the point where they stop looking at what they don't want and the bad circumstances and situations in their life. That's the moment that they stop looking at it. They turn their back to it. And now they go, I'm sick of this. This is what I really want. And that's when massive desire is developed. Massive clarity of what you want is developed. And that's when the vibration is thrown out from your brain with massive power and massive intensity, and you focus on it and you're obsessed with it, which means you're thinking about it all the time. And you become and you get what you think about most of the time. Because what you're vibrating most of the time is what is being attracted into your life. Make sense? Good. Any other questions? Okay, what if I'm feeling depressed all the time and I'm having a really hard time feeling good? Well, first off, what that means is you've really developed a lot of neural pathways and a lot of habits of focusing on the things you don't want. And people do this all the time out of habit because one thought attracts another like thought with a like feeling and another like thought with another like feeling. So I see people all the time that are virtually little negative and always thinking about the negative all the time. It's their habit and their pattern, which means they have this huge ball of negative energy they're walking around with. And a little thing, a person walks into a meeting and he has a cup of coffee and he puts the coffee down and the first thing he says virtually to himself is, "Now watch me spill this." See, he's instantly thinking about, I'm going to spill the coffee, which he does. See, people are always putting a negative spin on everything because they're always looking at something, and because of habit, they're thinking about what they don't want. They're thinking about what they hope won't happen. See, worry is negative goal setting. Worry is simply thinking about what you don't want to happen. So you have developed that huge pattern. So for you to go from where you're at to complete bliss is an impossible jump. Wherever you are feeling, remember this. Whatever you're feeling, when you're feeling a negative emotion or any emotion, whatever you're feeling, all you want to do is feel a little better. Whatever you're feeling, you want to feel a little better, a little relief. If you're depressed, wouldn't it be better if you felt anger? Because that's a little bit better than depressed. Yeah, I mean, if you're depressed, you actually are feeling better if you're feeling angry. You're kind of moving up on the emotional scale. So your objective is always just to feel a little better. And if you're feeling completely depressed and you're having a hard time feeling good, what do? Well, first, I would start doing all the things on the list that we talked about. Go for a walk, get some sun. Do the Callahan technique. Or go to the Gary Craig website and use that tapping technique, very powerful. Look at the drugs you're taking, first off. Do some cleanses. It may take a few weeks or a few months before you actually start getting to a better place. Do the appreciation. What can you be appreciative? If you do that every day, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, what can I be appreciative for? That will start forcing you to focus on something good and positive, which will mean, by law of attraction, more thoughts will come in, and your positive ball will start getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's the procedure. You're at conscious competence, so you have to do it. You won't get to unconscious competence until you get to the point where your positive ball is bigger than your negative ball. This makes sense? This is why it's important, if you're doing the technique and you're defining what you want and you're thinking about it but you're feeling bad, you can't focus on that because that goal then is too big at that moment. You're spending too much time thinking about the how and the lack of it. Do you understand? When you're thinking about something you want and you feel bad, that means you're convinced you're not going to get it. You're focusing on the lack of it, the fact that you don't have it. And now you're vibrating, I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. I don't have it, I don't have it. And when you're focusing on that, that's what you get more of. See, it's perfectly okay if you say, well, I'm massively in debt. I don't have much money. Right? Let's say that's your situation and you want more money and you want to get out of debt. So it's okay to say, right now, I am massively in debt and I don't have much money.
All right, family. What's up? Happy Friday and welcome to Mornings with Nano. If everybody can hear me and see me good, can I please get a 1 in the chat box if everybody can hear me and see me good? Just want to make sure that it's all good on your side before we get this all rocking and started here. Super excited for today's call. I know that this call is going to be incredible. It's going to be filled with so much value. If you are on this call right now, make sure that you get the word out to each and every single person in your team, your organization. Let everybody know that the call is live and Mornings with Nano is going to be a good one today. I see we already have hundreds of people on the call. I already see that we have so many people excited for what it is that we got going on here. And I'm just blessed and I'm looking forward to it, guys. So let's keep spreading that word in your group chats, telegrams, and let everybody know that Mornings with Nano is live. Let me just give this a little clean right here. Make sure that we're nice and clear. Awesome. There we go. That looks better. So happy Friday, fam. Excited to be here. Looking forward to this great call. It's been a while since we've had a special guest on Mornings with Nano, but it was only right that we got this call started and that we invited one of our favorite, of all time when he comes on Mornings with Nano, which is my brother, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mateo. And if I were you guys, I would get your pens and papers ready. Like I said, just make sure that you type in your chat boxes, in your telegrams, in your discords, everywhere. Let everybody know, guys, this is a Mornings with Nano you do not want to miss for nothing in the world. Because trust me, it's going to be a good one. But as we get everything started and as we, get everybody in, can we spread some gratitude, right? Because as we know, gratitude is the source where all good things come from. So we want to spread gratitude. We want to open up the floor. What is one thing that you guys are grateful for this morning? Type it in the chat box. I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for my mom, my dad, my little brother, my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for my brother, Matt Gribby. All right, taking the time to jump on this call, for always being a mentor, a brother, a friend of mine. I'm grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community. I'm grateful for my team, the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for Katie for always being just such an incredible person to me. I'm grateful for Kobe. I'm grateful for my journal. I'm grateful for my books, the wisdom that I'm learning on a day-to-day basis. I'm grateful for my strong body, my health, my mind, my soul. Everything is good. Everything is amazing. And we are just super blessed. I'm going to go live on IG as well because I'm really looking forward to this call. We have hundreds already locked in, and I know that it's about to get even bigger, fam. So like I said, spread that word, and let's get this call up and started. All right. So there we go. IG is live. YouTube is live. Zoom is lit. We got my brother here with me today, and let's get it. So let me add his pin here. Awesome. So for those that don't know, me and Matt go way back. Okay. Me and Matt go back all the way to 2019. And I know that you guys hear me always mention his name literally every single day. When I mention, the gratitude of my mentors, Matt is one of the individuals that I always mention, right? I mentioned Matt Rosa, I mentioned Matt Gribby, I mentioned Jason Brown, Alex Morton, but Matt was one of my first mentors, right? He was one of the people that, just came into my life out of nowhere. I'll tell you guys a story for those who don't know. Matt was in New York. This was summer of 2019. He was in New York with my boy Darwin, which Darwin was actually the individual that introduced me to this business. And he brought Matt over to the hood. We were hanging out literally in the streets in the hood of New York City. And, that day, me and Matt kind of hit it off. And we found out that we were both Geminis and that we were heavy into like mindset, Bob Proctor, God rest his soul, and everything. And, from that day forward, we kind of started building a relationship. We followed each other on Instagram, and he loved what I was doing with, morning mindset and teaching, the teachings of Bob and all of these incredible things, the laws. And it's so funny, within the first month of me and Matt meeting, he bought me 2 books, which we've actually, studied on this call this year, back to back, which was The Power of Awareness and The Feeling is a Secret. And when he bought me those books, he said, read these books and don't ever stop reading them. Like, take them with you everywhere you go. And I really did. You know, I took those books, and when he met me, I was literally only making $2,000 a month, barely, right? But I had the drive, I had the desire, I wanted to win. So after I read those books and I understood the concept of, you know, the feeling is a secret, the power of awareness, my income had a significant jump. It went from, you know, $2,000 a month to way over $10,000 a month within a 90-day span. So from that day forward, I really started to study this information. That's when I started to get heavy into Kevin Trudeau as well. He was the one that got me into it. So I want you guys to understand something really quick. A lot of the teachings, I would say at least 80% of the teachings that I do on Mornings with Nano, they come from the things that he taught me. I told you guys this yesterday. I have mentors. Matt Rosa is my network marketing mentor. But when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to the laws of the universe, when it comes to this information right here, Matt has been my mentor on this side of the business. And he's been an incredible person. He's been personally mentored by Bob multiple years. Okay, he has access to information that very few people in this world have access to. And the reason why I take his mentorship extremely serious is because everything that he's ever taught me, he's never led me wrong. Right? Bob always says it, hey, do what I tell you to do until you find out that I'm lying. You know, so that's what I do. I've done what he's told me to do until I found out that he's never lied to me about it. And he's one of the most selfless people I've ever met. Somebody that truly is all about people over profits, loves helping others. And the moment I hit him up and I said, bro, I know you've been on tour in Europe, traveling from country to country, city to city, no sleep, eating good, this whole thing. I said, bro, the Mornings with Nano family has missed you, and I would love to have you on the call this Friday. He said, it's done. Set it up, get the flyer, and let's do it, guys. So really quick in the chat box, can we put some fire emojis in the chat box for the man, the myth, the legend himself, my brother, Matt Gribby? Take it away. And thank you so much for doing this, brother.
My pleasure. Good morning, bro. Good morning. Good morning. The timing is perfect. The timing for this right now is very, very good because, like you said, I just came off tour. A lot of information came from it. A lot of experiences came from it. And it's time. You know, I haven't been on this call in, a few months. And normally it's every Friday. We would say we were going to do one Friday a month. That was our goal.
Yeah, first Friday of every month. Yep.
First Friday of every month. So we're back on it. We're here on Friday. I have some very good information to share with you guys. But first, Nano said he wants me to kind of give a little bit of my story, a little bit of my background of kind of like where this information is coming from. Now, this is kind of like the disclaimer I give before I speak is it's not about me. It's not about me as a person. It's not about what I've done or anything like that. It really is the information. And our goal with this call is to just expose you to certain information that, changed Nano's life and improved his results, as well as mine. Nano said when he started, he was at, about $2,000 a month. And now he's being modest, but he is over $20,000 a month and growing. So his income definitely improved. His results improved when he got a hold of this information. And also, like when I started, I was 18 years old with this information. I was very, very young, and I got exposed to it at a very, very high level. Since I first found this information, my income has grown by 35 times, 35 multiples. So doesn't matter where you are today. Okay. It doesn't matter the current level of income you have. It doesn't matter, your results. What this information has the potential to do for you guys is astronomical, right? But there's a few things that you have to do to kind of ensure success, right? There's a science to getting rich, right? Success is predictable. So what Nano and I are going to do is just share the information, some experiences on how this information has improved the results in our life. So in preparing for this call, I took a lot of notes. I have some books here. I was writing a lot of notes yesterday, really seeing like what information is going to help the people the most. right? Are we going to kind of go over the basics and just say, you know, this is the foundation that everybody needs to operate with? Or are we going to kind of push the envelope a little bit? Are we going to kind of tap into some new ideas, share some new things? And we're going to go with B. We're going to go with the second option. Why? So the first thing that I wrote down is access to information. Access to information. What I mean by that is if you have, let's say it's your current level of paradigm, it's your current way of thinking. You take certain actions, you get certain results. And what you do is you look at your results and you see your results, and it makes you feel a certain way. And what you end up doing is taking more action of the same caliber. You get similar results of the same caliber, and you look at those results again. You take the same action, you get the same results. And it's a continuous circle of staying where you are. That's how 95% of people live. 95% of people, they live in this circle of their current way of thinking, their current paradigm, their current level of results. The question is, how do you change? How do you get out of where you're currently at and get to that next level? And from my personal experiences, guys, it is access to information. You need new information to think from. You need new books to be reading. You need new mentors to be observing and following and learning from. That is really, really the difference. Once you get access to new information, your mind expands, right? KT talks about your radar screen, and we only see what is on our current radar screen. So what we have to do is expand our mind. We need new experiences, new information, and mentors are the best way to do this. So if you guys don't know, I just got back from a Europe tour for a full month, 11 different countries. It was absolutely an amazing experience. However, we were faced with a lot of adversity. We were faced with a lot of difficulties, a lot of delays, a lot of real world situations that we had to work through, that we had to use the information and apply in real world situations. So what I want you guys to also write down and kind of think about as well is the balance between learning and applying. Learning and applying. You're on these calls, you're learning. You're learning the information. You may be reading some books. You may have a good morning routine, but don't forget the application. Don't forget going out in your day, meeting people, talking to people, applying the information and getting the feedback. So here's something that Bob taught me, and I'm going to say this twice because it's a very good idea. Learning is when you entertain an idea, you get emotionally involved with the idea, you step out and act on the idea, and you change the end result. It's the feedback from the changed result that constitute as learning. So one more time. Learning is when you entertain an idea. We're getting a new idea now. You get emotionally involved with the idea. You say, I'm going to change. I'm going to do this new idea. Step 3 is you go out and you act on the idea. You apply it and you change the end result. But learning is the feedback from the changed result, which means you have to take action. You have to apply it and say, wow, I took this action. I got this result. Is this what I want? Yes or no? Does this make me feel good? Yes or no? If it makes you feel good, you continue. If it makes you feel bad, you change your actions. So learning is the feedback from applied action. You have to apply this information. Yes, you have to learn it. Yes, you have to master the basics. But guys, I was just in Europe and applying this information in real world situations, whether it be on the plane, in the cars, in the hotel, dealing with certain leaders in certain meetings, whatever the case may be. The information showed up every single time in these situations. So don't get too caught up in just learning. I got to read every day. I got to keep watching, keep learning, keep learning. Yes, that's important, but you also have to apply it. So again, I have a lot of notes here. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit. And if you have any questions, type it in the chat. At the end of this, we're going to do a little Q&A between Nano and I and answer some of you guys' questions as well. So again, access to information, expand your radar screen. Once the mind expands, it cannot go back. Once your current way of thinking has reached a new level, you can't go back. And again, I was very fortunate at 19 years old to work with Bob Proctor for about 4 years. Now, he introduced me to high level businessmen and women, entrepreneurs. Now, when I say high level, I'm talking 10 million and above per year. And what I was able to do for 4 years is observe these type of individuals. I get to see how they operate, listen to how they talk, how they do deals, and things like that. So you really, really have to expand your network and get around new information, observe high level, high performing people. And I was able to do this in Europe. You know, I was out there with a very successful businessman, and I was able to listen to the conversations. I was able to observe how he interacted with certain people. And I'm always taking notes. I am always observing. I am always seeing what's going on, and I'm always taking notes. So when you get around somebody at a very, very high level, access to information is very, very powerful. Knowledge will change your situation. So I'm going to continue with this idea because it is very, very important. What I was able to do also was observe commonalities. You pick from here, you pick from there, you observe a whole bunch of different people, and you find certain things. Thank you, Nano, for your message. You find certain things that are commonalities. And I have found a lot of commonalities behind these high level performers, but it only happened because of my association with them, because proximity to them, through observing them. So my challenge for you guys is to really elevate, get out of your comfort zone. You know, I drive 20 minutes a day to, you know, a very, very good gym every day. I do that for association. I do that to meet new people that operate at a high level, that, you know, they go to a very, very good gym. So there's a gym 2 minutes away. I could very easily go to the Equinox, way cheaper, way closer, way more convenient. Why do I drive to South Beach every day? Proximity is power. I want to meet these people. I want to rub shoulders with these people. I want to have conversations with these people. You have to continually put yourself in those positions to expand your mind. So very, very important. You need new information to think from, and get around mentors, get around people with better results than you, and observe them. Ask them questions. That's really, really going to elevate you to the next level. Part 2, once you get access to information, once you've been on these calls for a while, once you have a mentor that you're learning from and observing, and you're like, okay, this information can change my life. This information can improve my results. Part 2 is the consistency to apply the information. Meaning when Nano says, read and write your goals one time or a few times every single day, you got to have the discipline to do it. When Nano says you need to visualize the future self, you have to apply it and do that. When he says meditate, calm your mind, you know, and really tap into your higher self, do you have the consistency to be doing that every single day? Remember, it takes 28 days to change a habit or to implement a new habit. So it is the consistent effort over a long period of time that's really going to change your results. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen in 1 week. It's going to happen in a month, 2 months, 3 months of consistent effort until you really reprogram your mind appropriately. So the importance of consistency, the importance of discipline. You get access to the information, that's great. Are you disciplined enough to apply it to change the result? 2 authors that I have been studying from recently, because I study Neville. I've been studying Neville for about 6 or 7 years now. But I'm like, who does Neville study? Who does Neville, you know, and we kept going up this chain of like, where does this information really come from? Who's, you know, the pioneers of this? Who's really originating these ideas? And there's a bunch of different people that are, you know, are very, very well spoken on this information. But 2 people that I have been focused on recently, Thomas Troward and Genevieve Berandt. Now, Genevieve Durant wrote the book, Your Invisible Power. This book I've been reading quite religiously lately. It's on my phone is where I've been reading it. And it talks about the imagination. Your invisible power is your imagination. This is what allows you to create the future, create new results, create a new image for your life. So when I meditate, 1 time a day minimum, you quiet the mind, you quiet the mental chatter, and you use the imagination to recreate the new future. You create the life that you want to live. So I really, really recommend you guys get into this. Study the imagination, study the higher faculties. Because again, if you do not change what you're currently thinking, how you're currently visualizing, nothing's going to change. You're going to continue to get the same results over and over again. What else? Seasons in life of learning and applying, right? So what I wrote down is I was been learning for so long, learning, reading, watching, asking, observing for so long. Then you have to go apply it. Once you apply it, you see the changed results, and that's when you really start elevating. Do I like this? Do I not like this? Does this make me feel good? Does this make me feel bad? And KT talked about it, and I know Nano talked about it as well. It's this idea of contrast. In Europe, we were hit with a lot of contrast. Contrast is situations, events, circumstances, people, ideas that cause you to say, I don't like this. I don't like the situation. I don't like what I heard. I don't like how I feel. This doesn't make me feel good. And normally we say, wow, this is a terrible situation. This is horrible. You know, why is this happening to me? When you start really learning this information and studying what contrast is, you realize that 2 things. Number 1, everything is good. Everything is good. Why? Number 2, because we can change our perception on any situation. Every situation for me is good. I was at dinner yesterday and I was asked, do you ever get mad? Do you ever get really angry? Are you always this calm? Are you always, this kind of chill? And the answer is no. Like, I'm human. Of course, my energy changes. Of course, my energy fluctuates. But I understand that if something happens that I don't like, that doesn't make me feel good, it is a good thing. It allows me to define what I do want. Again, contrast is good because you can change your perception on the situation. You can observe it and say, this doesn't make me feel good, but I know. And KT talked about this on CD9, but I know everything works out to my advantage in the end. This is allowing me to define what I want. So contrast is good. Continue to study contrast. It's very, very prevalent in this book. Abraham talks about contrast very, very well and the benefits of it. And KT says as well, it is only when you are experiencing contrast, when you are experiencing something that you do not like, it is then and only then when you can redefine what you want. So, for example, how does this apply to a real life situation? If you follow me on social media, every time I fly commercial, I always post need a jet. I'm going down the runway and I just put need a jet, need a jet, need a jet. I posted that maybe 10 to 12 flights, need a jet. And what did I attract? What happened next? 11 private jets came next. And the next post was got the jet. So I do apply this information in real life situations, right? Need a jet, need a jet, need a jet. And that's contrast. I don't like this. I don't like flying commercial. I don't like flying with people. I don't like waiting in lines. I don't like security. That's good. It allows me to define what I do want. I want to fly private. I don't want to see people. I want to fly when I want, leave when I want, no security, right? That's a perfect example of contrast when you experience something you don't want and it allows you to define what you do want. So that works. The information works. That's a perfect example of where it was applied and how it came to fruition. So, Nano, I'm going to end with this. You started the call with gratitude, and I'm going to end my portion of this call the same way with gratitude. A very interesting point. When I came back from Europe, I felt numb. I'll be honest. I was normally, you would think, wow, 5-star everything, the flights, the hotels, the food, the experiences, the excursions, all that stuff. It was so amazing. Yes. I came back and I felt numb to everything. And I really, really had to sit there and say, why do I feel like this? Most people, that you couldn't even dream of some of the things I experienced. Why do I feel so numb? And I came to the conclusion that I was not expressing enough gratitude for what I was doing and for where I was at and who I was with. When I started expressing gratitude, I had it on my phone. I literally made gratitude lists, typed everything out, just rampage of appreciation, just like Nano started this call. Thank you for this person in my life. Thank you for this experience that I'm feeling. Thank you for these emotions and everything happening. It wasn't until I expressed gratitude consistently for 3 days that I really started to feel better and started to feel different. So no matter the level you're at, no matter the level you get to, the things you experience, in this world, you cannot forget that gratitude. Really, remember, feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret. And gratitude and love are the 2 highest vibrations that you can experience. I'm going to say that one more time, and I really, really recommend you write this down. Gratitude and love are the highest vibrations that we can experience as human beings. So gratitude is something we really, really can control. Do this exercise every day. I promise you, you will start to feel better. And again, it only wasn't until I experienced no emotions, not feeling anything after this tour, where I was able to define, okay, I don't like how I'm feeling. I don't like this experience. I need to change. So I started doing more and more gratitude, and everything changed for me. So Nano, I'm going to send this back to you. I know we have some questions that we can kind of get into as well. But yeah, that's kind of some ideas I've been working with, and really it's the applying in every single day circumstances and situations. Yes, we have access to the information. You need the discipline to apply it, and it's the feedback that's really going to take your awareness to the next level.
Fire, bro. Fire, bro. Thank you so much for that, man. I learned so much. Like, you could just tell that, you've had some big breakthroughs over the last 30, 60 days, just with all the traveling and the observing. And like you said, the proximity, learning how important it is to express more gratitude. It's been amazing, bro. And, just even having the ability to even watch you on Instagram, it was like you were inspiring me. Like, you were one of the reasons that I was like, bro, I need to be on that vibration. And you kind of like indirectly inspired me through your posts. I'm like, I'm here at the crib, but my boy Matt is on jets, traveling the world, eating at the finest food, staying at the finest, hotels. And I'm like, I want to get to that vibration. I want to vibe on that vibration. And that was one of the reasons why I kind of went on this, consistency run that I've been on today is actually my 28th day, is because 26th day, actually 26th, is because I was like, I remember those things that you told me in the past and how important it is to consistently apply the information over a period of time. Like you said, 28 days, 60 days, 90 days. And that's when you start to see the difference. And I want to start off with that question first. When you're going through these consistency runs and, you're 10 days in, 20 days, 30 days, there's obviously, times when it gets hard or you kind of, get distracted. What are the keys to staying in line through those times? Because obviously, once you go in through a few of those weeks, things start to happen. You get invited here. You had an argument with your girlfriend or boyfriend here. Something happens in business here. What are the ways for you to stay in line so you can continue that consistency run?
Very good question. 2 things, and I'm sure you've definitely hit this home many times. You have to have a goal, right? You have to have something you're moving towards, an objective, a focus, because remember, In absence of clearly defined goals, we become strangely loyal to performing daily trivia until ultimately we become enslaved by it. So yes, adversity hits. Yes, things come up in your life. And there's been times where I've viewed it in a lot of my friends' lives. They are enslaved by daily trivia. They be doing the same thing every single day. They're not changing. They're comfortable. Their results are static. The results are the same. You have to cut distractions. You have to limit distractions. If you have to move to a new city, move to a new city. If you have to change your number, change your number. If you have to deactivate your Instagram for a month, deactivate your Instagram for a month. Identify those distractions that are holding you back. You have to remove them. Not forever, not forever, but for a season in your life. There are seasons in your life where there's time for work, there's time for play. It's just what it is. If you want to get to that next level, and I'm talking like high level operation, like really, really next level, you really got to cut distractions. What's easy to do is easy not to do. I'm in Miami. I get texted, come on this yacht, come out to dinner, come to here, blah, blah, blah. It happens all the time. But you have to be so careful. Everything is an investment. Please write this down. Everything is an investment. You invest your money, you invest your time, you invest your energy, you invest your love. Everything is an investment. Don't spend anything. Invest. So I am very, very careful about where I go and who I'm with. I'm very selective with things. And I'm not saying my way is perfect. I'm not by any means saying like, this is how you have to live. No, you do what you want to do, live how you want to live. But if you really want to get to that next level and achieve your goals in a shorter period of time, you have to cut distractions, create that vision board, saturate your mind with what you want, see everything every day. I mean, the background of my computer are jets and yachts and cars, and just every time I log in, that's what I see. So yes, there's going to be distractions. You have to limit those distractions and just saturate your mind with what you want.
That was powerful, bro. And, I love what you talked about that, because one thing that you just said, everything is an investment. And I realized, you talk about, and this is going to lead to my next question. You talked about proximity is power, right? And, when I'm around you, I realize how you protect your energy. And, I've been there when you've been called, yo, Matt, yo, yacht tonight, yo, come through, dinner here. And I've realized how sometimes you'd be like, nah, not today. I got to finish this work. I got to make sure I do these videos. And I've watched you and I've analyzed the way that you go about certain situations, whether you realize it or not. So I understand how powerful that is and how you are able to stay in that consistent vibration always, because you're very careful with who you invest your time into, where you go, and everything about that. But at least in my next question, you talked about proximity is power. And, you're always around these big time people. You said when you were growing up and, you started with Bob, you were dealing with high level individuals, $10 million and up. And even on this tour, you were dealing with some even bigger individuals. When you talk about proximity is power, bro, what is it that you are looking at? What is it that you're analyzing in these people? Because it's one thing to be around, and sometimes people do get the chance to be around successful people, but what are we supposed to be paying attention to when we are around these successful people? What kind of questions are we supposed to be asking? Like, how do we, maneuver in rooms where there's people that are earning 10 million, 20, 50, 100 and up? How does that work, bro?
Great question. Absolutely fantastic question. You have to do it over a long period of time and find a common golden thread. It's basically what Napoleon Hill did when Andrew Carnegie said, go study 500 of the world's wealthiest people, find the commonalities. What are they all doing that they share in common? And I feel like that's what I've been doing, but just for a few people. It's day one, I observe. Day two, I observe. Day three, I observe. And I say, okay, what's the commonality between the 3 days? Now, if you do that process over a full month, you have some good takeaways of, wow, this person does this consistently. So you really you observe, and you observe what they do consistently over a few period of times, listen to 5 phone calls and be like, wow, they said the same thing, or they addressed the situation a very similar way all 5 times. So it's multiple times. You're not going to just watch them one time or watch one video and get everything. It's going to be a consistent exposure to certain environments and certain situations, but you got to find that common. I'll be honest. I will be super, super, super blatant with you right now. There's been 2 conversations that I have had in the past with 2 completely different people, 2 different worlds. Information they shared with me, they said, I have never told anybody this in my entire life. When I hear that stuff, I'm like, yo, this is just different. This is proximity is power. I'm getting access to information that is just not on you. It's nowhere to be found. So that's happened a few times, and it's only through the consistency of being around them, of observing them. And yes, then you can ask questions. If you have a good enough relationship with them, you can start asking a little bit more into, why do you do this? Or when you're in a meeting, what are you looking for? And then you can really start to even dig deeper. But I'll be honest, it's just observing, always recording, always listening. And then you find commonalities and consistencies between their attitudes and their actions.
No, that's beautiful, bro. And if you don't mind me asking, what are some common things that you found that these successful people do? Like 1 or 2 things that you see that is very consistent across the board that you've seen that works for all of them, or, that you saw all of them do?
2 different answers for 2 different people, because it's completely different. One person was never stop studying, always around the information, no matter what, in the morning, midday, at night, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, did not matter. Holiday did not matter. Always was around the information in some way, in some format. And I was like, okay, that is a very big takeaway. Always around the information, always saturating. Books are everywhere, notes are everywhere. In the bathroom, in your office, you're always around the information. So that was one really, really big takeaway. The other one is the complete opposite. It was working extremely, extremely hard, crazy hours, always being on the phone, always working, calls nonstop, meetings nonstop. And I was like, wow, this is application process. I was observing just ridiculous work ethic. Every day, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., Sunday, did not matter. It's just by any means necessary. Make it happen by any means necessary.
Wow, that was powerful right there. Because I feel like, from observing myself as well, I've had the pleasure of being in rooms, and I kind of seen both. And that's why I do study so hard and I do work so hard. So I think this is dope, man. One of the questions from the ones that we had from IG, one of them was, how does one keep feeling continuously good throughout the day? Is it a matter of starting with small moments, 10 to 20 minutes, or is it working your way up? So how does someone, stay feeling good throughout the day? Because like we say, the feeling is a secret. So how does one stay good throughout the day?
The first 20 minutes of your day and the last 20 minutes of your day are the most important, because your subconscious mind is more open and you can impress ideas onto your subconscious mind. So one takeaway is, when you start your day, do gratitude. Your mind's wide open. First thing you do is just, what are you grateful for? Rampage of appreciation. That will give you the better chances of having more things throughout your day that you can be grateful for. So you'll end up having a better day that way. What else? Ask the question again. Gratitude in the morning when you first wake up. Ask the question again.
How does one stay feeling good throughout the day? Is it a matter of the small moments, or how does it work like that?
Yeah. So it's going to be the consistent effort. Do that until it starts to become a habitual way of thinking. And I'm fortunate to get to the point where I wake up feeling good. Now, honestly, I know certain things that I have to do to continuously raise my vibration. I go to the gym in the morning. I have to do cardio. I have to drink a lot of water. I drink protein. I take caffeine. I take medicine. I get sunlight every day. Like, there's certain things that I know that I need to do to start my day off right. And then if I maintain it, meaning I eat properly throughout the day, clean food, high vibration food, express gratitude, read, certain things that you do every day, you'll continuously improve your vibration until that's how you're currently, living your current way of thinking. One thing that I have noticed is, once you do this in a consistent manner over a consistent period of time, when you feel bad, it's strong. it's strong because you've been so consistently doing, the right things. When something comes and hits you from the side, it's like the whole world stops until like this situation gets resolved. That's happened a lot. It's because you operate on such a high vibration all the time. When something that doesn't match that vibration you experience or hits you, it's so different to how you've been feeling. You can be like, okay, this needs to change. Why do I feel like this? What needs to happen? And you can do certain things to change your vibration. So consistency, your energy and everything will continue to elevate.
Yeah, bro. And I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I remember when I first started following you, I would always see you going to the beach, used to walk, used to do walks on the beach, you used to go get sunlight, meditation, working out, all of those things. And, a lot of what my morning routine consists of is based off of what you were doing. So I would remember watching you do those things. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start doing it too. And then I started to realize how good I was feeling and how high of a vibration I had when I was doing those things. And then it was so much easier to attract everything that I wanted, because now that I was on that vibration, the people, the situations, and the circumstances were just naturally showing up. I want you to talk about that, bro, because I feel like people sometimes tend to forget that the how does not matter. As long as you are able to put yourself in that vibration every day, you will naturally attract that. So can you break that down for people about why the how doesn't matter?
How does it matter? That's how I get.
Yeah.
You want me to just leave it there? Like, just the how doesn't matter. Because when you're so focused, it's just what KT says. He says, the way you think it's going to happen most likely doesn't.
It doesn't, exactly.
We don't know, we're not aware enough, we're not smart enough to know all the intricacies that go into manifesting your goal. If you say, I have to achieve this goal, this level of income by this day, or my whole world's going to change, or everything's going to crash and crumble, it's not the right vibration. It's not what you should be focused on. You don't know the time. You don't know if Sally's going to come into your life, or Joe's going to come into your life, or somebody you meet in the elevator is going to bring you a business deal. You don't know the how. It's off your radar screen. So take that energy of worrying about how is this going to happen and just put that into faith. It's just a reallocation of energy. Take it from worrying about the how and put it into faith. I don't know how. I'm not going to know how. And it's okay that I don't know how, but I know it's going to happen. I know the results are going to be there. I don't know how. I don't need to know how. I don't want to care how. It's not important. It doesn't matter how. I know X, Y, Z is going to happen. That's all that matters.
It's a perfect example when you were flying commercial. You were like, yo, I want a jet. You didn't know how you were going to get on the jets. You didn't know when it was going to happen, but you just kept affirming it. You had faith in it. And next thing you know, you were on tour for 30 days across the country, and you were on a jet literally every other day. Which is crazy how that works, which is amazing, because I would see the post, bro. Like, I would see you make those posts. And then next thing you know, you were living the experience that you wanted to live a few weeks before that. And I think that is so powerful. And there must be an incredible amount of energy and faith that goes into that thing. And that's what I want people to get, guys, is that, Matt really understands this information. And what he's doing is, like he said, it's the same amount of effort that it takes for you to put it into not believing into believing. The same way that he believed that he was going to get on that jet, and he had 100% faith, that unwavering faith, next thing you know, it was becoming a reality. So I think that that's super important. I want to ask you two more questions so we can wrap it up here by 11. The next question I have for you, bro, and I think this one is good. Sometimes, we get stuck in positions in life where we kind of can't get out of them. People tend to get into these slumps and, these low vibrations. Whenever you got into those low vibrations, or if you ever do again, I'm not sure if you do, what do you do to get yourself out of those ruts and out of those slumps? Because life hits, financial issues, family, these things. Like, what do you do to get yourself out of them quick? Because sometimes people tend to stay at these low vibrations for too long. And as you stay there for long enough, you'll start to attract more circumstances, situation, and people to keep you there. So how do we get ourselves out of those slumps fast so we can get back to where we want to go to?
There's the laws of the universe, right? I love the laws of the universe. Everything abides and operates by them. One of them is the law of a rhythm. And I just imagine a roller coaster, right? It goes up, comes down, goes up, goes down. That's life. Highs, lows. You have the seasons. You're going to go through the lows, but you just have to know that the high's coming. If you can withstand the low, if you can get through whatever situation that you're going through, it's temporary. Just know that your current situation, you're in a season of a low, and that is completely fine. It is a law of the universe. It has to happen. Now, are there ways to shorten those times? Yes. Are there ways to get out of those times? Yes. There are certain things that we can do, whether that be gratitude, whether that be learning new information, going to a seminar. It doesn't matter. Doing something different to really you need something that just clicks in your mind. I don't know. There's just different ways that you can go about it and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What do you think about that?
I mean, for me, honestly, whenever I feel myself getting back into those slumps, for me, I always look at my morning routine. How intentional have I been with that? Because for me, I feel like that's the key. Me getting back to the essence, back, like you say, to the basics. You master the basics, you master your life. Whenever I feel myself out of sync, or whenever I feel myself, in these slumps and at a low vibration, I know that there's something wrong with my routine in the morning. And I have to get myself back to that vibration so I can change my thoughts, get myself back into those rampage of appreciations, making sure I'm meditating, evaluate myself. How did I get myself to this moment, so that then I can make those adjustments and boom, fix it up again. So I feel like what tends to happen with certain individuals is that they get into these low vibrations, but they do nothing about it. And they allow the situation to become them instead of them changing it and making a massive change quick. So I think that that's what I've done over the years to get myself out of it. I always look at my morning routine. I feel like my morning routine is like the key to get me out of anything, and that keeps me going up. What do you think?
There's certain things. I mean, that's for me, I wouldn't even think my morning routine is something. But for you, you've identified that as your reset, if you will. I don't know. We don't need to spend too much more time on this, but you have to realize 95% of people are living the same. 95% of people are living in that low, that consistent low. They're stuck in that current way. It takes effort. You got to really do something different. You got to change something different. You got to really step out. And I don't know what else to say about that.
No. It was great. I mean, like you said, everybody's different.
The season. Yeah, it's a season. It's going to happen. You just got to limit it. When it happens, be like, okay, I'm going through a little season. It's okay. This is the low in the roller coaster. You're going to that next higher high. And then that belief will create, this is a crazy idea. That belief in saying, this is just a temporary situation and I'm headed for that higher high, that actually creates the situation to change. Like by you saying, law of expectation, you're expecting it to change, you then actually create the change yourself. It's all a mindset. It's all perception of a situation. Negative situations are just temporary.
No, that's powerful. Last question, bro. You told me this thing one time and it has forever stuck with me. I teach it on Mornings with Nano all the time. And you told me once, you said, any thought that you have that does not give power to your goals is a distraction. Okay. Any thought that you have that doesn't give power to your goals is a distraction. How do we keep the thoughts consistently there? Like KT talks about the laser beam. Like it just has to be there. What thought practices do you do to keep your laser beam on those goals where there's no left, there's no right, you're just there? What are the practices that you do on a day-to-day basis to keep yourself with that laser beam towards what it is that you want and that high desire?
For me, there's only one thing that matters in any situation. How does this make me feel? How does this situation make me feel? If it makes me feel, I don't think about the thinking anymore. I don't care about the words. I don't care about the actions. I don't care about what I see. None of that matters. It's how do these words make me feel? How does this experience make me feel? If it makes me feel good, you do more of it, you follow it. If it makes you feel bad, you stop, you revert, you say, okay, I need to change. I don't like how this feels. So to have that tunnel vision is I am so in tune to how I feel. I know if I'm headed in a situation that makes me feel good, you continue. And it makes you feel good, you continue. If it makes you feel bad and you come a little off track, you got to reevaluate it. Why do I feel this way? What caused it? And how can I change and get back on track? So yes, you can get to that flow state. Yes, you can get to that complete bliss with everything, but it's becoming super aware of like how you feel. It's never, what do I think about this? It's always, how do I feel about this? I would write that down. I've written it down many, many times. It's never, what do I think about this situation or this person or this result? It's, how do I feel? How does this make me feel? Because remember, our senses lie to us. Whatever we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch is a lie. Use your higher faculties. How does this make me feel? I'll end with that.
Yep. No, that was powerful, bro. Thank you so much for that. Guys, real quick, type a thank you in the chat box for Matt. Unbelievable, man. 700 plus people on the call. Absolutely phenomenal call, guys. I know I had a lot of breakthroughs on this call. It's actually something that, you know, I needed to hear myself. And because I've been so involved on the call, I actually got to go back and rewatch this so I can catch the nuggets that he mentioned throughout the call that I kind of missed. I didn't even get a chance to write down. So I'm so glad that Sana is on this call. Matt, real quick, bro, for the newest person that is on this call, you know, what are some books or some audios that they can start studying from now, right? Like what are some things that you would recommend, you know, for people who are brand new, they just met you for the first time, they don't know who Mateo Gribbly is. Where can they start their journey, you know, in terms of audios and books?
It's a very tough question for me because that's just a tough question. In business or mindset, what do you think?
I would say mindset first. Let's get their mindset right.
This book changed my life more than anything. Asking and Just Given. It's written by Jerry and Esther Hicks, but it's inspired by Abraham. So she meditated and like wrote this book based off of what she was inspired by Abraham. So it's a tremendous, tremendous book. I have read, I can't even tell you how many times I've read that book. So, and I still have it. I'm actively reading it. Rampage of Appreciation. This is what you were doing this morning, and I'm studying Rampage of Appreciation.
I think that would be a great book for people to start with. I wanted them to hear from you because I remember when you told me about it, and KT in his audios, he says 99.9% of the information in that book is accurate. So
that's where I got it from. I'll be honest. That's exactly where I got it from. Yes, Hannah says the 4 agreements, 7 spiritual laws of success. Those are both good. For me, when I heard him say, I will never forget, I was like 18, 19 years old. He's like, there's one book that I agree with 99.9% of it. And I remember like turning up the volume at this point. I'm like, whatever he says after this is it. It's it. And he was like, it's called Ask and It Is Given. And I just paused it, right? I paused the audio. I just typed in Ask and It Is Given. And that was a wrap. That changed everything for me. So I can't really like tell anybody else what to do. I'm just telling you what I did. That book changed everything for me.
Perfect, bro. Well, hey, that one book changed everything for me as well, my brother. So thank you again, my brother. Appreciate you so much. God bless you. I pray that God continues to give you more health, more wisdom, more everything, bro, because we definitely need more people just like you in this earth. And guys, make sure that you guys follow my brother Matt on Instagram. His Instagram is at Mateo, Mateo Gribbly, which is GRIBB, B as in boy, LY, Mateo Gribbly. He is the man. Look at his stories, turn on his post notifications. Trust me, guys, this is a brother of mine. Like, he's my family for real, but he's a mentor of mine as well. And when he posts, I know, right? His post notifications are on. I follow him. I study him to the T, the books, everything, because he is someone that has the results that I want. He is somebody that surrounds himself with the right people, that protects his energy, that puts himself in a position to win and elevate always. And he's always very selfless as well. He's willing to share with you guys a lot of this information. A lot of this information, he always tells me, he said, Nano, This information is not even 1%. This is 1% of 1% of people have access to this. So it's not about, like he said, just the learning part of it. Is about the application part of it. And I think that that's something that we all need to take with us, because we were all on this call. Great. It was awesome. Great questions, great information, great books. But the one thing that I will take from this call that really, really stuck with me is, are you consistently applying the things that you are learning on a day-to-day basis? Please don't let this go over your head, because I know we're on Mornings with Nano 5 days a week. I know you guys are going to events, you're buying these books, you're investing into these seminars, but are you actually applying what you are learning? Okay, this is so key. I've applied a lot, and because I've applied a lot, I've been able to increase my income dramatically, right? Because Matt has applied a lot, he's increased his income dramatically. I've watched it with my own two eyes. I remember who he was when I met him, and I see who he is now. I see the difference in his vibration, the way that he dresses, the way that he speaks, the things that he does. I've seen it. And as he's grown, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to follow what he does, fam. So guys, please, please, please do not take any of this information for granted. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this call. I'm going to type his Instagram here again one more time. Make sure you guys follow him, show him some love in his pictures, engage with him, you know, turn on the post notifications so you know every time he posts, because every time he posts is value. Like, it's either going to, you know, inspire you directly or indirectly. He's the man. There's no one better. Again, Matt, thank you so much. Any last words for the family, bro, before we go?
I'm trying to read right now some Thomas Strower to find like some paragraph to share with you. It's a little heavy right now. There's nothing, I guess, I don't know. I would just end up saying, like, the whole proximity is power. Really, really the biggest takeaway that I've had for the past month is just get around somebody that has what you want and just observe them. Observe what they do, observe how they do it. Just be that shadow, that super quiet shadow, and just take mental note and ask yourself, I wonder why they did this, wonder why they said this. If their results are there, that's all that they have. They may act a certain way. They may put on a front for a certain reason. But if their results are there, just start observing and start taking mental note.
That's fire sauce, fam. Guys, like you said, find somebody that has what you want and go observe. If you don't have somebody, put yourself in the environments, like he said, where those people are, right? Like he said, he could easily drive, 2 minutes to Equinox, right? But he drives 20, 30 minutes to South Beach to a more expensive gym to surround himself with people that have the results that he wants, that, drive the cars and live in the houses and have the businesses, just like he said, to rub shoulders with them, ask some questions, have conversations, right? When we go eat, we don't ever go eat at just regular restaurants. We go at high vibrational restaurants to teach and learn from these individuals, what it is that they're doing to get to themselves to the next level. So even like I was actually telling them the other day, I was like, bro, even when I didn't really have much, I would go and put myself in these high vibrational environments so I can go and learn and all of those. And going to events are also very key. Reading these books, studying online is also very key. So guys, this was a phenomenal call. Like I said, make sure you guys follow him. Send this YouTube to somebody that, needs to hear this information. This was amazing. And what we'll do is from this day forward, bro, we'll do our best to stay consistent with the first Friday of every month. I know that we got big things coming as well, but we'll keep that low key with everything else that we got, guys. But with that being said, that wraps up today's call. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm going to do a quick prayer for us, and then we'll get out of here, fam. All right. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful, abundant Friday that we get a chance to wake up and learn and grow. We want to thank you so much for blessing us with Matt's presence and the wisdom that he continues to pour into us on a day-to-day basis. You're using him as one of our vessels here on earth to grow and to elevate with us. And he truly is a great leader, somebody who leads by example, is following his purpose and helping us as much as we can grow into the individuals that we can. So we ask that you give him more health, more life, more abundance, more wisdom, so he can continue to be a great leader for us. We are so thankful for the amazing week that you have just blessed us with. We ask that you continue to guide us and show us the way. Let's go out there and have a great weekend filled with love, filled with blessings, filled with gratitude, because as we learned today, love and gratitude are the two highest forms of emotion. And we have nothing but love and gratitude for you, God. So we appreciate you. We love you. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 All right, fam. So with that being said, follow me on Instagram. If you guys don't follow me, Long Live Nano. TikTok is Long Live Nano. My Twitter is Live Love Nano. If you guys want to follow me outside of this with my podcast, you can follow me on my podcast at Mornings with Nano. You can find it on, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Amazon Music. You can find it all over. And with that being said, I'm so glad that you guys got a chance to jump on today's call. I'm blessed and I'm grateful. And I will see you guys on Monday for another episode of Mornings with Nano.